In 1936, in Seoul, Korea, Matsuyama Hideo, my father, was born. He was born during the Japanese occupation of Korea, and if he spoke Korean or used his Korean name, which is Oh Sang-gyu, he would be beaten. But our family were able to survive this very difficult time. My father, mother, and older sister moved to Philadelphia, and I was born. My name is Michael O. I grew up as a child of the American dream. My sister and I were able to eventually move out from the heart of the city, where the gangs and drugs and mafia were, to the edge of the city, eventually from the edge of the city to the suburbs. Following the Lord's calling was not really a part of my version of the American dream until my sister about literally dragged me to a Christian conference. And I was confronted with a really important, but to me at the time, a really scary question as well, a sobering question, which was, if you were to die tonight, do you know where you're going? And I didn't. And I wanted to know. And I needed to have assurance, and I kind of jumped back into God's arms. I had lunch with my father, and I told him that I wanted to become a missionary. After saying no, he explained to me that he wanted me to stay in America and go to church together as a family. And I said to him, in a moment of insanity, thank you for everything that you've done for me, for my older sister, but I refuse to live my life just trying to work hard to get into a good college so I can get a good job and make lots of money so that my kids can have every opportunity to study hard, to get into a good college and get a good job and make lots of money so their kids can have every opportunity to get into a good college and get a good job and make lots of money. I refuse to live my life like that, for that. My wife Pearl and I met in college, and we shared an interest in becoming doctors, but we had a much stronger shared conviction to do whatever the Lord would have us to do. So that was the starting point for our marriage, and eventually led to God's great blessing of allowing us to have 5 missionary kids. Our oldest is Hannah, our second is Michaela, our third child was Aowen, our fourth is Elliot, and our fifth is MJ, or Michael Jr. We had a growing conviction that the Lord would have us to give our lives for the 3 billion people in the world who have little or no opportunity to hear the gospel. When we read our Bibles and heard Christ's words, love your enemies, after trying to figure out what that would mean for us, because we didn't have any enemies that we knew of, it led us to thinking about God's call for us to love the Japanese, the historical enemy of Koreans. There was a Holocaust in Asia, and I didn't know it until my graduate studies. Potentially 30 million Indonesians, Chinese, Vietnamese, Koreans, and others who were killed under Japanese imperialism, possibly the largest loss of human life in the history of mankind. That challenged me. It became personal and it became hard. But the gospel doesn't shy away from the realities of human darkness. It was a reminder of my own darkness. During our short term in Japan, we asked so many missionaries, pastors, Christians, what can be done for Japan? And 100% of them all said, we need to train leaders. The idea to start a theological seminary was crazy. The first time I shared our detailed plan with our key Japanese leader partner, he turned to me and he said, do you know what a furoshiki is? And I said, yes. Furoshiki is a square cotton cloth that you can wrap things in. And he said, we have a saying in Japanese, your furoshiki is too big. And I turned to him and I said, thank you for everything that you've done, and I appreciate your feedback. But we have a saying in English, your God is too small. And rather than slapping me in the face, as my father maybe should have done as well, he said, you're right. Surely God can do this and much, much more. And I said, oh, we got him. We can do this. We wanted to do it in a way that was transformational in pedagogy, that was in a uniquely strategic geographic location, and also with a rock-solid theology that was just faithful to the gospel. And those three dynamics together, I think, led to the unique school, which is Christ Bible Seminary. The vision for CBI Japan really started with Christ Bible Seminary. From there, we had further convictions, which included the desire to reach Japanese non-Christians with the gospel. We had been praying for God to allow us to be in a place where culture is being made, where influencers are being raised up. And after 7 years, God provided what was a $20 million property for an amazing price of $1.2 million. We never could have imagined that we could establish a gospel ministry just 5 minutes walk from Nagoya Station, the largest train station in the world and the center of all of Japan. This became our megaphone for sharing the love of Jesus Christ and the home of the ministry of CBI. In March 2013, I received the most surprising call of my life to step away from leading CBI Japan and to become the new CEO of the Lausanne movement. It was a unique opportunity not just for global mission and to serve in that way, but a unique opportunity for CBI Japan. The stepping away of one leader and the stepping in of new leaders who bring fresh energy, fresh vision, and fresh life to a ministry like CBI. I can't wait to witness all that God is going to do to establish His gospel, His church, His people, His witness here in Japan. I invite you to be a part.